go.
Here we go.
And it's Funky Florals rice paper, the second set, take 12.
It feels like it should be about take 212.
212 takes later, here we are.
This is what happens when you get to the end of the week and many videos are under our belt at this point. But we saved a really good one for last.
We did, yeah, we did. We have the second set of Funky Florals rice papers. We had so much fun just playing with these and making art with them.
You know, we sat for quite a while yesterday just playing. You were kind of at one end of the island and I was at the other, and there wasn't a whole lot of talking, but there was a whole lot of creating that went on. So it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it totally was. I think this was these floral rice papers were the most fun that we had.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
So there are 7 in this release, and Elizabeth will show Elizabeth will show them each to you at the beginning of the video. We have a couple of samples that we can show you. As it happened, we both picked the same one to show.
Oh, right.
But yeah, here's this one. So what we've done again is we've given you the same design repeated on the sheet several times in several different sizes so that you have lots of options in terms of how you decide that you want to use them. Elizabeth, I worked on journals, but you're going to see that Elizabeth made some really cool little frameless pieces. They're boards, they're studio depth, so they're, you know, about that thick. I think they're 3/4 of an inch, and they look wonderful when you take the design and you let it creep out past the edges of the actual part of the rice paper itself.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. So I worked on several of these. This is just one of them, but I always like to wrap the pattern around the edges so you can hang it like that. And then I just bring the rice paper pattern out into the border. Like I let it expand out of the square so it doesn't look quite so cropped. So I'm going to show you how to do that.
Shall we go do it?
Yeah, let's go show them how to do it.
All right.
We are super excited about the Funky Florals #2 collection of rice papers. So it's a set of 7 A4 size 30 GSM rice paper, really nice, beautiful quality, thin, absorbent, glues down very nicely, rice paper, and printed in Italy. So I'm really excited about the saturation of the color. They look really exactly like the original paintings, and so that is exciting. So this one is called Calla Lily Still Life. This one is called Daffodils and Dots. This one is Dogwood and Fish. This is a real tall, narrow, vertical format. This one is called Polka Dot Floral, because who doesn't like dots? This one is Poppy Party. And this one is Sentimental #3. And last but not least is Sentimental #4. And that's the whole collection.
When you want to adhere rice paper to pretty much any surface, you have several options. Gel medium is one of the first ones that most of us think of. Then there's things like a glue stick or sticky stuff. There are some considerations though, and that is a function of not only what medium you use to apply the rice paper, but also the color of the surface that you're applying it to. So when you work on black, and when I show you my samples, you're going to see that I did that a fair amount. If you use gel medium, you need to consider that the light areas on this, especially if there's anything white, but those light areas are going to get very translucent once they get wet with the gel medium. So I'm just kind of smearing this down. Now, in order to do this properly, you need gel medium obviously on the back, and then you need to put a coat of it on the front. And you can already see where this is wet, you can see the color changing. So the solution to that, where you don't get the background so significantly influencing the colors in your piece, is sticky stuff. So I have already applied a piece to the back, and what I do is I apply a piece that's a little bit bigger than the shape, and then I cut it out. So when everything is said and done, all I have to do is peel this off, and I have basically a sticker. It's self-adhesive, but when I put this down, you're going to, that's right side up. You're going to see that this does not change color. It is more or less completely unaffected by the black surface that it's on. So that's always something that you'll want to think about when you are applying rice paper, especially with gel medium. So playing around, because Elizabeth comes at this from a fine art perspective and I'm more inclined to play. One of the things that I thought would be fun would be I cut this piece right here and then like a doofus I put these someplace else, but this and this are not part of this composition that is the rice paper design. I took one of the smaller elements, one of the smaller versions of this on the sheet, and I cut these pieces out and I put them in there. I don't think Elizabeth's going to object to me kind of riffing on her art, but I like the way that they extend beyond the original borders of what is pretty much a square shape. And then, again, keeping in mind that when you work on black, you need to consider, because this is black right here, you need to consider how you adhere it. I used sticky stuff here. This is something that we actually created yesterday where we used foil with Elizabeth's Art Nouveau stamps, and this is one of my backgrounds where I kind of repeated the design. That one's actually facing you, so that worked pretty well. Here, originally when I mounted this, it was because I was concerned about all of this patterning showing through here, so I just mounted it on a piece of, I think this is one of our 5x7 index cards, and I like that little border at the top and bottom, so I left it. Now, one of the challenges when we're here rather than in our home studios is that we don't have all of our stuff. So ordinarily with these designs that I've showed you, I would come back and I would put words or text or other kinds of embellishments, but in the absence of those, these are kind of ready for that. So here I took one of the smaller versions, and I think this one is Sentimental number 4. I took one of the smaller versions, I applied it to black, and then I cut it out so that I had this black border around it, and that was important so that it would stand up off of the colors of the background. So that's what I did, and in a moment, Elizabeth's going to show you all the really cool stuff that she did on some boards.
So I had fun using the rice papers on cradled wood panel to make little pieces of art that could be hung in a small space, I guess. So these are 6x9, I think.
I think they're 6x8.
6x8. So they worked really well with the tall vertical format florals. And on this one, so like as Barb said, the tip on this one was that I glued it down onto the gessoed wood panel and then painted the blue out around the edges so that the color did not affect inside. Also, you need to put a coat of gel medium on top of the rice paper so that when you bring the Posca pens over the top, they don't just all soak in and disappear. So that coat of gel medium kind of seals everything up and makes it so that the pens will write on and not soak into, which is also why you need to properly prime the wood panel, because the Posca pens are just going to soak into that thirsty wood if you don't seal it with acrylic medium. So in this one, I just made polka dots, lots of fun dots, and picked up the colors from the artwork and made sure to overlap them over the square edge of the artwork so that it looked like it's a little bit more integrated with the background. And the Posca pens I used come in all different colors and all different tip sizes, so it was a lot of fun to just dig around and find the ones that picked up color from the artwork. The next one, I did the same thing. I painted around the edges with like sort of a Naples yellow color. And then with my Posca pens, I extended the tablecloth and I extended the red over here, added some dots. And then this one, I applied a piece of collage paper at the bottom. I also reinforced some of the lines in the artwork with the Posca pen. There are lines and mark making that was already in the original artwork. And I just came in with that beautiful blue and kind of bumped them up. So, and I love this piece of collage paper here because it picked up, the collage elements of the rest of the piece. So speaking of collage paper, I did a couple of the square format ones on the 6x6 panel. And on this one, I put collage paper all around the edges. So the first thing I did was to glue this to the prepared panel. Then I put collage paper border, and I also took it around the edge of the piece. So when you see this from the side, the art is wrapping the edges, which is always a neat effect. And also, then you just put a wire on this and hang it without any framing necessary. So once I got the collage paper on there, I did what I like to do with these is to extend the art outward into the border so it doesn't look so trapped in the square. So I just finished off the edges of the Van Gogh spiral that were cut off in this shape. So I brought them out and I brought these out. I brought the checkerboard border. I did a little dash with my Posca pen and I colored this area in with the same teal that I brought out over here. And then I actually added the metallic that you see here in this square. This was gold leaf in the original, and I also did that with a Posca metallic pen. So that came out really great. This is so cute, and I just love the polka dot border. Okay, so this is the last one. It's another 6x6. In this rice paper, there's actually a pink square up here in the corner of the artwork, but I colored that out with the Posca pen so that I could make this upper edge just really all like organic and freeform. So when you look at the rice paper, you would see that there's a pink square here. I just, I glued the rice paper down. I painted the black around the sides and around the artwork so it didn't affect the color. And then I came in with the Posca pen and I decided to eliminate that square. Then I just extended the stripe border. I bumped this box out and repeated these shapes. And again, I brought them around the edges so I have a full complete look with the black. And I brought these and I mimicked the square and square in here. And then I added some leaves with, this is the fine point Posca, the teal, oh, what size is this?
It's a PC1M, and
PC
I think that's aqua green.
Yeah, PC1M. Yep, aqua green. And that's like, that was a great color and a nice fine tip to draw a few more leaves in. And again, that's just to extend the art out into the border. And so that was a good tip to do these fine lines with. So, and then down here, that's just, I also extended the vase. The original artwork, the vase ends here. So it's not too hard to copy what's already in there, you know? So I extended the vase and I just extended all the shapes that were already there. And so now the vase goes right off the bottom of the board. So I had a lot of fun making these little pieces of artwork that I think are just some unique way that you can play and work with the rice papers. And really the whole thing was Posca pens and in some cases a little bit of paint around the edges. Actually, I think I did this one with Posca too, didn't I, Barb?
I think you did. I think you're right.
Yeah, I did. This is Posca pen. Because I remember Barb commented that really you could do all of this with the Posca pens and never have to break out the paintbrush. So this is the Posca pen because I can, when I look close, I can see the pen marks in it. This one was paint. So yeah, so you could do the whole thing with Poscas and never have to clean a paintbrush. So that's the end of our video for today and our time creating videos this week.
Yep.
You'll
Friday.
probably see them in different order, so there's really no chronological.
There's no method to our madness. However it happens is how it happens.
Right, but we are on our last day here. So hope you enjoyed the videos and
Have fun with these rice papers. They really are a lot of fun just waiting for you.
yeah. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.